That's pretty spectacular. I like that. I've got to admit, after spending such a long time walking in the Danish countryside, which is pretty flat, and of course even in the Netherlands it's not really anything other than flat, this is nice to see. And all the cows with the bells, the alpine bells. Oh look, down there, I don't know whether you can see it, but there's the Fjällräven checkpoint. So not too far. It's supposed to be like 1.4 kilometers from the that little cafe hut place we stopped at for a rest. This is for Katarina, who loves cows and would be out there in a heartbeat petting them. Here we are, approaching checkpoint number 1. I think it's Rosenhut, if I pronounced it correctly. Fjallraven Classic Germany, first one in Germany. Checkpoint 1 done. On we go. That was actually okay. It's just a basic checkpoint where you have a shoe repair place if you have something urgent that you need done to your shoes. It's got the checkpoint where you check in and they stamp your pass, and they've also got water, place which you can cook, and restrooms. So the basics, but cool. Just maybe a few thoughts while I'm walking, since this is a fairly flat piece of a flat stage which we're coming up to. Oops, it's a bit of mud. I forgot a few things. I was thinking about them, but I wasn't prepared enough, and I didn't have a checklist. So note to self, next time I need a checklist. I forgot something like a pair of Crocs or slippers, so that in the evening, if I need to go to do a pee, that I can just slip those on instead of having to put my boots on to walk across the grass, especially in places like this where it's wet and soggy. Like last night, everything was wet and soggy all over the place. It had rained, and it was not nice. So. And the other thing that I would like to get, which I was thinking about, which I didn't, because I just didn't plan for it in time, is I wanted to get a collapsible water bottle with a wide mouth to use as a urination vessel, so that if it's pouring outside in the night and I need to go do a pee, that I can just use that, and then I can empty it in the morning and clean it out. So I would have something that collapses, nice and small, not very heavy, that I can use for emergencies like that. I wanted to get one of those. So those two things I definitely did not get. The other thing that I was umming and ahhing about for a very long time was a Fjällräven Eco Shell pants, because they zip up and down all the way. And last time, even though I have a waterproof pant shell, it was a major pain to get on and off with my boots on when it started to rain. So I was umming and ahhing about that, but those are like 450 euros, and I'm like, that's a lot of money for a pair of waterproof pants that yeah, they're probably quite a lot more waterproof than your standard pants, but 450 euros. So I forgot to bring my waterproof pants, so I picked one up at Decathlon in Amsterdam for 15 euros. They're not as waterproof. The Fjällräven is 30,000 water column, and this is something like, I don't know, 8,000. So probably if it rains really, really hard, I'll get soaking wet still, but at least they provide some protection in case, and they're pretty light. So I'm happy, especially based on the price difference. So those are the things that immediately come to mind. Something else that I'll start this up again. If you are coming on this trek again next year or in any of the following years, it seems like during this time of year it's quite damp and wet. I've heard the weather can be changeable, but I'm assuming that up in the mountains it's generally possible for rain to pour down throughout the year, and if I look at the ground, there's a lot of places where it's quite muddy and the grassy areas are kind of drenched and soggy. So just be prepared, I think, just that it can be very changeable. And that's what I read too, that this area, in this time of year, the weather can be quite changeable. So you need to be prepared for that, even if you just come for 4 days. Whoa, fallen tree. That's a note that you should keep your wits about you and listen for trees that are beginning to fall. Let's see what I can squeeze through. Oh, yeah, okay. Backpack. Ow. Got it. Whew. Okay. So there's lots of these waterfalls around here, and this is a little one that's screaming out, and the water from these is quite okay to drink, especially if you filter it. Well, it's better, they said, if you filter it, but it's perfectly fine to drink it. Really cool. Taking another break after a little bit of an ascent. Those really kill me. It's a nice area though. So I was actually wrong. That wasn't the end of the climb. There was another climb as steep, and went on for a while. But now we seem to be hiking along a ridge at the top. So I'm hoping this is what it's going to be like until we get to the next checkpoint, at which point we go down, and then I'm worried again because of my knees, but it's supposed to be a fairly steep descent. Oh wow, look at this view. Wow. Thanks. If you want to take a rest, I recommend this is a good place to take a rest. Oh my god, seriously, another uphill. My legs won't handle any more uphills. Shit. Highest point of the day.
Hochster Punkte des Tages. Yo, highest point.
Made it. That should be the, I don't know, maybe not the last climb, but at least the last high climb for the day. It's a nice view. Coming up to the second checkpoint now, just down the hill. We're going down a fairly steep hill at the moment towards the second checkpoint, which is giving my knees a little bit of hassle. So at the checkpoint, I think I'm going to take a couple of ibuprofen. I'm going to tie up my knees with some compression bandages, take a bit of a break, and then head down the final 5.72 kilometers to the campground, because that's a steep drop from what I saw on the contour lines. Whoa, gotta watch where I'm going. We passed the second checkpoint. I rested there for a while, tied up my knees, or compressed and bandaged my knees up, took some ibuprofen, drank some water, rested a while. Now I'm starting on the next leg down to the camp. There was a little bit of a steep ascent right after the checkpoint, which I'm done with steep ascents, I think. I'm now going down. I hope there's no more ascents, even small ones, at least until tomorrow. So looking forward to getting into camp, setting up and taking a load off. We'll check in with you later. And on we go. Some of these tracks are really narrow and steep on both sides. I don't know whether you can tell how steep it is on the video, but this is pretty steep. Not cool for somebody with fear of heights. Little shout out to Fjällräven and the volunteers. They spotted on this last leg, they spotted a section which you have to scramble up and which is a little difficult, especially with a big backpack. And they've kept somebody there to spot you and explain to you the best way to scramble up. So well done, Fjällraven, and thank you, volunteers of the Fjallraven Germany Classic. You guys have been fantastic, so I'd like to mention that here. Whew. View is spectacular from up here. Can you see that? Apparently, I wasn't the last person to come through that checkpoint or leave. There's apparently more people waiting to pass through that final checkpoint before the camp. But I certainly do feel like I was the last person. There's nobody who I've seen or met at the moment after I left the checkpoint. So it feels very much like I'm the last. But apparently there's more. So it's nice actually to be out here with nobody around. It was a little busy this morning, leaving and all the way on the track, but now it seems, oops, sorry, I need to watch the track. Now it seems really peaceful. So you can see down there, at least I think you can see, down there, the tents from the other checkpoint. So I've got to get all the way down there. It's probably another 1 hour. Downhill is hard on the knees. Oh, man. So I think I saw the campsite as I showed you from up on top. I think I'm probably like half an hour away, but I need to stop, give my knees a bit of a break. And I'll restart again in like 5 minutes. But I'm almost there. The first checkpoint, not checkpoint, the first camp. And, oh man, I'm tired. Whew. At the bottom of the road, the Fjällräven campsite should be, I think there it is. I see everybody there and I see Fjällräven signs there. That's got to be the campsite. Okay, there's everybody setting up tents already. I don't know whether you can see that. A lot of people have already arrived. Like I said, I'm probably one of the last, if not the last, at this stage. I see the blue check-in tents still there. Looks like you get a welcoming coming into the checkpoint. Well, there's still some space for tents, so I can manage to lay my tent somewhere, I think. It's really nice, everybody's clapping. Thank you. Oh wow. Made it. see in through here. Hi, thank you. Hey. Hi. Thank you.
You made it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You did it.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hey, you made it.
Hey. Yeah. Thank you.
You okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.